Thank you. See, I told you right in the beginning that Kim and Rene had researched over 150 theories and concepts spread over 30 industries, covering a span of over 100 years. That means right from Taylor's first principle of management to the current, they have researched everything. Everything, design principle, business model canvas, the value proposition, everything they researched, and then they integrated all of that into what is called the Blue Ocean Strategy. So once you master Blue Ocean Strategy, let me tell you, you have literally mastered more or less all the concepts and principles which have been responsible for it. That means the essence, the insights of all those management principles is what Blue Ocean Strategy gives you in a very condensed manner. Like we saw, in the last one, we saw how ecosystem, complementary products and services are as important as your core offering. That is very close to the Dublin framework of innovation. That means, you see, from innovation, the science of innovation, the concept of innovation, Blue Ocean Strategy took that particular aspect. What we are going to see today is a condensation of a very, very important aspect of management principle called value proposition. We are going to understand how value proposition is integrated and used by Blue Ocean Strategy to identify uncontested market space. According to Kim and Rene, uncontested market space exists between the folds of the current market. It is not something you go away from. It is not a different geography. It's all within that only. But fortunately, unfortunately, nobody is contesting that because they are looking at each of these things as a separate entity. When we talk about value proposition, people look at value proposition entirely differently from what Kim and Rene looked at it as in Blue Ocean Strategy. So we are going to be seeing that today. And consequently, it has got tremendous insight for individuals because we are all working in contradictions, in extremes, in polarized way. Someone is either a very charismatic person, talks very well, inspires people, very outgoing, the life of the party. But when it comes to substance, process, and understanding of how things are done, he falls tremendously short. That means functionally he is very weak. Some person is extraordinarily good functionally, but he is an introvert, can't mix with people, can't communicate what he wants to say. And what happens? The best analogy to explain what happens to such people is a coin. Has any one of you got a coin with you? Please take out the coin. Yeah. Nageshwaraji has got a coin. The coin has got two sides, isn't it? Correct? Now do one thing. What is the coin that you are holding, Mr. Nageshwara, in your hand? What is the denomination?
5 rupees, sir.
5 rupees. Now keep it vertically, cut it from the middle. You will have 2 coins. Correct? What is the value of it? 10 rupees or 0?
0.
So do you realize? This coin of 5 rupees, which has got 2 sides, the functional and the emotional side, when cut in the middle, becomes 2 coins, but of no use at all. That's precisely what happens to most of us in our life and in our ventures, because we are totally focused on what our real strength is without making any attempt or effort to integrate the other into it. And when you are suggested or when you read that the other has to be integrated, what happens? Can any one of you tell me? You feel threatened. You feel totally threatened. Because at this age, at the age of 69 that I am, if I mean basically, fundamentally a functional person, suddenly comes and tells me that what you are doing is not right. You need to integrate emotional aspects into it, presence, pride, storytelling, shout out collaborations. What will happen? He is attacking the very foundation of my existence, because that's not how I have lived all these 69 years. Like, they say that we are the product of what we have done. Correct or not? Mukesh Ambani is the product of what he has done. But there is a flip side to it. Have you ever thought of it? He also is not what he is because of what he has not done. If you have been successful to a degree, that is because of your own efforts, your intelligence, and your understanding of this world. But what you could have achieved more than that, you have not, because of also the same thing. Today, we are going to see how that can be changed in very actionable way. Very, very actionable way. Let me give you a very simple example of what happened in the group for the last 2 days. I put a case study. What are the case study? Rohit and his wife are looking for a gift for Rohit's parents. They go look at wheelchair. And then Rohit feels it is all very clinical, right? And many of you came up with excellent suggestions. But what was one common thing in everyone's suggestion? That will tell you what life is. Can any one of you tell me what was that one common thing in everyone's suggestion?
Connectedness, emotional touch.
Yeah, that was that. But the most common thing was, because the case study contained a wheelchair, all of you kept the wheelchair common and built your narrative around that wheelchair. See how dangerous our mind is. Primacy effect. Because that wheelchair was there in that case study, we remember everything that happened around the wheelchair. That was just an example, isn't it? Could we not have moved away from the wheelchair and found something, functional, and then add an emotional touch to it? We are willing to engrave on the wheelchair, but not leave the wheelchair. So you see, these are some of the things which we need to understand, because this is what happens with us in life. This is what happens with us in life. So in today's case study, I would request you, try to move away from what you are seeing and try to understand the principle behind it. Blue ocean strategy will be helpful to you, because you see, as we move forward, we are going to see many more things. See, all these are strategies, right? You have seen 4 different paths. Today is the 5th path, then there's one more path, 6th path. After that, we will see how to implement these things, because, creating strategy is no great stuff. Anybody can. Anybody can create a strategy. The question is in implementation. That is where the real hit comes. And one of the most beautiful things about Blue Ocean Strategy is a strategy which has embedded into itself success of its implementation. That we will be seeing how that happens and why it can be done. Should we start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the example we have of look across functional and emotional appeal is a product which took the world by the storm. A very, very, very ordinary product. And people thought, with the type of competition which existed, that this product cannot succeed. Can you tell me what is this product? This is America's #1 motorcycle. Can anyone tell me which one
Harley
it is?
Davidson.
Absolutely right. Harley Davidson.
Harley.
Harley Davidson. It is a race. It's a culture. It is not a product.
Cult.
Harley at its core is just a motorcycle. What does it do? It gets you from point A to point B. That's all. Functionally, it is no different in principle from Honda, Yamaha, or Suzuki. But when it comes to emotional appeal, it has become a culture. Today, owning a Harley Davidson is a matter of pride. You belong to a select community. And there's so many things, there are so many things happening with Harley Davidson across America and across all parts of the world. You have fans, you have so many other things happening. Harley Davidson succeeded not by competing on fuel efficiency or its functional spec, but by blending with deep emotional resonance, creating an uncontested market space where competition could never think of entering. Honda was shocked that something like this could happen because Honda could build a bike maybe better than what Harley Davidson is, but it couldn't replicate Harley's emotional response. Let's see the step-by-step process to look across functional and emotional appeal. How do you go about looking across functional and emotional appeal? It's pure applied value proposition, let me tell you. Those of you who have studied value proposition, conducted value proposition, or product managers who are regularly working with user experience and value proposition will find an entirely different take of value proposition here. Number one, identify the dominant appeal in your industry. Ask yourself, is the industry primarily functional? Like we have got consultants also here. We have got manufacturers and others. Ask yourself, is your industry primarily functional? Low cost, airlines, logistics, insurance, third-party manufacturers, they are all operating in the functional industry. And what are those emotional ones? Luxury brands, high-end fashions, fine dining, fancy restaurant, Michelin star restaurant. These are all into emotional. Understand what drives that appeal. Why is this appeal there for this type of an industry? Like for instance, we have Mr. Yogesh who is into certification. So he is primarily into a functional industry, isn't it? Now, what is driving this? What is the main driver? For functional industries, what performance, features, or price drivers are emphasized? What are you emphasizing? For emotional industries, what symbols, narratives, rituals, and design elements are used? How do you convey emotion? For example, in luxury watches, it is not about keeping time. Luxury watches don't sell because they keep good time. They sell because there is a legacy behind it, a brand story behind it. It's not just timekeeping. Similarly, try to identify what is it which is driving your industry or your competitors. What are they mainly focusing on? Access customer satisfaction and overkill. What is this? What the customers are in functional market? Are they emotionally disconnected or bored? For instance, what is the value that we say a particular product or service gives? Supposing you are a consultant. You are a turnaround consultant. What is the value that you are giving? What is the value you are giving? Like let us say Raju sir is a chartered accountant. So what is this? Is he in a functional or emotional industry? Functional. Okay. What are the emotions attached to it? Do chartered accountants ever talk about that?
No, sir.
They talk about effective bookkeeping. They talk about compliance. Correct or not? But what are the emotional things that they can talk about?
Financial
How it
management.
is making their life better, how is helping the organization have a comfortable life, how it is helping.
There are so many
the
things which
organization.
they can tell, you know, it need not be any of these also. You could drive your functional capability by storytelling. By telling how a client benefited from you and created wealth. Or you can talk about how compliance can lead to peace of mind and a good sleep. In other words, what is it that we can bring in terms of emotional elements into our functional life, which can create a new market, a new way of looking at how you are being looked at? If you can do that, for instance, let me ask you a simple question. Recently, Karnataka government entered into a contract with Boston Consulting Group. Are you all aware of it? Huh?
No.
Boston Consulting Group to find out how they can generate funds for the government. They are not aware of this news?
No, sir.
They did this. Now tell me one thing. Why Boston Consulting Group? Is it that there is no other consultant in this world or in India? How does this name BCG help? Brand. And what is brand? Brand is emotion. It is not function. If Reliance goes and appoints McKinsey as one of its consultants, what is it doing? More than a solution, it is signaling its capability to associate with the number one of the top three. Again, a brand. Are you getting my point, what I'm trying to tell? How
sir.
do you combine functionality with emotion? Combining functionality with emotion makes you a very, very powerful person. Then explore the opposite appeal. Supposing you are a very, very tremendously functional person. Turn it on the head. Can you make it aspirational? Can you become aspirational? Can you become fun? Can you become emotionally engaging? For an emotional person or a product, can you simplify it and make it more accessible or optimize its performance? Make it easy to use. What is it you can do so that by combining functionality to it or an emotional element, you can create a totally different type of an appeal or increase on the user experience? Identify levers to shift the appeal. Add emotional appeal through, maybe you can use, develop the design of the product, you can add storytelling to it, or, you can create a personalization, you can create a community. There are so many ways of doing it. For functional value, you can make simplification, you can do cost cutting, you can create transparency, automation of its, functions. All these things will ensure that automatically, emotional thing becomes functional. Reframe the value proposition. That is where the crux comes. Once having done this, present it as a new product, new offer that integrates or flips the appeal, retain what matters, remove what is bloated or missing, and introduce a compelling blend or contrast. There is one particular design principle which uses this, that's called Scamper. How many of you have heard of it?
No, sir.
Okay, at a later date, we will be discussing that. When we discuss some of the tools which are important, we will be discussing it. Now, can you take a screenshot of this? This is to work in the breakout room because anyway, you will all be getting the recording. Now, let's go to the case study. Rohit and Aarti live in Delhi with their 2 children and Rohit's elderly parents. With Rohit's parents' wedding anniversary approaching, the couple want to give something special to the grandparents, something meaningful yet useful. They initially think of a recliner chair, a foot massager, a blood pressure monitor, a subscription to Senior Citizens magazine, but every option feels too dry. Rohit says, we are just buying equipment. This doesn't feel like a gift. They are stuck. Help them. Take a screenshot of this. Now there are 15 people, that is 14 excluding me. We will split into 2 groups.
Can we
Please.
see previous slide, sir? Just I
Which one?
missed it. Previous slide.
This
Sir,
one?
can you once again
No,
go
no.
to the screenshot?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Previous one before this. Yes.
स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिए ना अनिल जी, अब इसको पढ़ने की क्या जरूरत है? स्क्रीनशॉट लेके रख लीजिए, फिर पढ़ लीजिएगा.
नहीं, मैं वो मिस कर गया. चलो हो गया.
हाँ, स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिए.
ले लिया.
And
Thank
create
you.
2 breakout rooms. Now, don't get blocked by anything that we have seen here. Reclining chair, BP machine, they are not the be all and end all. There are so many things. They are just symbolic of a functional item. I have opened the rooms. Please move. You have 30 minutes. It's 11:07 here. That is, I think it is 8:30 there. 8:35. By 9, we will close and come back to the main room. Please move. Suresh sir, can you go to the Okay, welcome back. So how was it?
It was good, sir.
Good.
Good, sir.
Good, sir. Very interactive.
Lot of worthy discussion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So who will start first?
Sir, I will start, sir.
Start.
Okay, sir. So, the first thing, like identify the dominant appeal in your industry, we would be planning to gift a digital photo frame. Like when the children are coming to meet them, when they're coming to meet the elderly parents, they are planning to give them a digital photo frame in which this photo frame would be showcasing the photos and special moments of their parents. Yeah, like starting from like there would be so many old photos in their home. They would digitalize this. They would like add some old their favorite songs, and they would keep a slideshow. And also along with this, they would take their parents to a tour in which they can spend some quality time, and they can make them feel that they are valued. Also tour to spiritual places and also to tourist places. And next is that like for this product, access customers, explore the opposite appeal. For this, like we are adding a different function which is called the cloud integration, in which the parents can view their children's live updates. They can view their grandchildren's live updates. All they have to do is that they have to enter these photos or videos into the automatic play button of this digital frame, and it will automatically showcase to their parents what they are doing. And next is reframe the value proposition. For this, sir, like we plan to give them a big digital photo frame, and on the top of this, we would be branding their family name, because all people like they have a unique attachment towards their family name. So we would be branding their family name on top of this photo frame, so that like they would feel attached to it. And also there would be video calling facility, so that they can get connected with their family as well. That's
Very
it, sir.
good. Thank you. Thank you. A lot of brainstorming. Yeah. Well, this was room number 1 or 2.
Yeah, that was one. Now
Good.
is group number two.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So group number two, we have decided about, okay, I will start with the value proposition and address the individual components separately. Now, the value proposition is that it's going to be a surprise party, catch them by surprise, and it's going to be like recorded messages from various near and dear to their parents that will be taken, and it will be played. When it will be played, those guests will be entering into the hall. So that is the value proposition which is made. Now, if we talk about the first one, the dominant appeal in the industry, I think functional, it covers the logistics, the event management and all that. And the emotional part of it is mostly rekindling the reminiscence of the past. I think that's where elderly people, what really matters to them is emotions, touch their heart and which appeals to them. The next point is understand what drives the appeal. I think it is yeah, the unmet needs and things like that. So think about, so what will happen is that right from the childhood days, how they, all the old photographs, everything, a collage would be prepared or a video would be made and then shown, and then the next one is access the customer satisfaction and overkill. Now, children should know their parents better, what appeals to them and what does not appeal to them. I think based on that, they look at something which really, makes them happy. Now, when we talk about explore the opposite appeal? Can you make it fun, emotionally engaging and all that? So what our group has decided is that for all the guests who are from North India would be sent on a drinking trip. And from all South Indias will be arranged a temple trip. Everyone will be taken to all around the temples and all that. So ensuring that, they are kept engaged at all times. Identifying the levers to shift the appeal. Now, this is where more personalized, the audience would share a message which how they have made a difference to their lives and storytelling, incidents, anecdotes, and things like that. So basically, this is the value proposition from our group. Now, if I've missed something, members, please chip in and give your 2 cents.
For
So that means
creating, yes, for creating emotional component, something. So the person, one person would be employed, they will have turbans on every head. All the guests will be gifted with one turban, and ladies will also be gifted with small jacket. So they will be joyed, same color, same turban, and same this thing. This is what I want to add.
And the functional part, what we talked about is how they can look at the old photos and other things, not only as a collage, but also running on the TV, their old time as a video, their time during their services, their trips, marriage of Aarti and Rohit, birth of their grandchildren, all those aspects as milestones. That is something which it is.
excellent. So what did you all exactly do inside the breakout room? Go wild, absolutely. Leave logic behind, leave practicality behind, and try to prove to others कि मैं कितना differently सोच सकता हूँ. Is this how you create a gift for your parents? Guys, come down, yeah. Stand with your feet on the ground. Eh? Yes, Yogesh.
I also worked on it a little bit on myself and tried to work on the points that you gave in the slide. Identify dominant appeal and felt that recliner chair, foot massager are all very functional product. If we want some feature, it can be automatic wheelchair, recliner chair can be with some massage option. Emotion can be picture of renowned bhajan cars, picture gallery of gods. Narrative can be for family heirloom or stories, ritual, collection of ritual passing down from family lineage, which they were instrumental to pass that down. Assess customer satisfaction and overkill. Say electric blanket or some real good functional product may be very good for the elderly when they feel really shivering in the winters and the normal blankets are not so helpful. Sometimes those things may help. Explore the opposite appeal, aspirational, fun, emotionally engaging. There I could not attach much, but whatever our group was discussing on old song collection, then Karava kind of collection has come of old song. Some group member discussed that. Related family video superimposed on that, so that for every mood some song is selected. Can be operated by single button, so functionality is very easy. Identify levers to shift the appeal. Design, storytelling, personalization, how the gift can be wrapped in story of how the couple met and struggled through various life phases, and how songs can be personalized to depict each of the life phase, can be the emotional lever. And in the functional value, travel gear, simple attire which is easy to don yet stylish can be thought of. Reframe the value proposition, remove costly offering, introduce color, music, maybe a utility like electric blanket is what I also thought from my side.
Very good. Yeah, see, what I'm telling is, you see, remember one thing, whenever you are doing an exercise, it should be executable. It should be executable. And it's his parents' marriage anniversary. Yeah, there are a lot of things which can be done, but tell me one thing, if it is your parents' anniversary, what will you do? Will you spend a few lakh rupees on it? On the gift? Will they like it if you do that? They will give you a big lecture on economy. They will tell you that you are a spendthrift and you should not be like that. So you see, first thing is, remember one thing. Whenever you are conducting an exercise, be true to the objective of the exercise, because your behavior will tend to get ingrained in your mind, and that is what you will become. If you go high funda stuff, things will really go haywire because you will not be able to think on the ground level. But most of you, what you said, one thing is very clear, that you have been able to understand to a very good degree functionality and emotional. And you have also been able to appreciate the need to combine both. Now, what is functionality and what is emotional is what you have to understand in greater detail. Okay, we will see that also. But first, let us continue with our exercise. Applying the framework. Let's apply the framework here and see. Identify dominant appeal. What is the dominant appeal in this industry of gifting for our parents and grandparents? Gifts for the elderly usually lean towards functional health devices, practical utilities, because that's what, the first question that people always ask is, it should be useful to them. Don't we say this? Whenever we buy something for our parents or somebody, I know what is the first objective we have in our mind? It should be useful to them. What is the meaning of this? It should be useful to them. What we are trying to say is that anything which has an emotional element in it people will get bored of it within no time, and it will just lie somewhere. Isn't that what is there in our mind?
Functionally, it should be applicable.
Yeah, functionally, it should be appealing and it should be useful. The key question is, how does our industry currently appeal to customers? By solving physical needs, comfort, health, and convenience. These are the things which are most important for the senior citizens. That is comfort, health, convenience. If someone were to come and give me a mobile phone, if it is all very high-tech stuff, I will get scared. I don't know how to use it. I want the minimum number of buttons. I should know how to increase the volume, how to decrease the volume, which button to press to start the phone, which button to press to switch it off. Second thing is, understand what drives it. What customers are really buying. What are they really buying? What are these old people really buying? Security. When you talk of items for health and comfort, what are we really talking about? Their security. They are not very comfortable, they are scared. At the back of their mind, they realize, that the majority part of their life is over. They are nearing the end. So they are more concerned about their security. They want ease of life for their time and reassurance that they are cared for. Because they are slowly losing their capability to take care of themselves. But Rohit and Aarti sense something missing, the emotional need for love, belonging, and recognition. These are also very important, even though senior citizens never openly tell about it. Are you aware, in the Scandinavian countries, a new type of bank has come up called the Time Bank? How many of you have heard of it? In the Nordic countries, there is something called a Time Bank. What is this Time Bank? Yogeshi, will you care to explain to the people what the Time Bank is?
Yeah, so if someone spends time with elderly people, say 2 hours, that 2 hours are deposited in the bank, and those 2 hours can be used when they become older.
Correct. Today, if you go and spend 2 hours with some needy person, a disabled person, an old person, or do something, social service, spend 2 hours or 3 hours, in your name, those 2-3 hours are deposited. When you become old and needy and no one is there with you, the government will arrange for someone to come and spend those 2 hours with you. Time back. So what is it exactly? It is about taking care of the emotional need of love, belonging, and recognizing that they exist in this world. This is what drives the people of this segment that we are talking about of creating a gift. 3, assess what is over or under delivered. Over delivery, too much focus on clinical utilitarian gift, massages, BP monitor, and what do you call it, recliners and all this. Is overemphasis is an overdrive. And what is under delivery? All those which are called emotional resonance gifts that create sentiment, family bond, and memory are something which is on an underdrive. Now invert it. Explore the opposite. Instead of only functional, what is the gift is primarily emotional? With a suitable functional touch, shift length from equipment that support life to experiences that celebrate life. Don't talk about supporting life. Talk about celebrating the life which was there. Use appeal levers, emotional tools, what you can achieve, storytelling, nostalgia, memory sharing. Like all of you have come out with a very good suggestion, that is the scrapbook, the photo scrapbook, or videos and other things. Functional tools, what you can use here? Tech-enabled QR code for ongoing access, cozy corner setup, which Yogesh was talking about. Maybe you can have a cozy corner in the winter with an electric blanket where the 2 of them can sit for cozily without feeling the cold and then reminisce about their old times. So now you reframe, create a new value curve. A gift that blends heartfelt memories with practical usability. Result, a memory book plus a cozy corner, emotionally meaningful, functionally supportive. Impact, grandparents feel loved, valued, celebrated. The gift becomes a centerpiece in the home to be shown to people who keep coming and visiting their family. What are the lessons learned? Recognize the spirit, the split, overcome assumptions, blending appeal, creating a blue ocean insight, and finally the broader message. What is it again? The split? Couples started by focusing on purely functional gift, ignoring emotional dimension. Overcome assumption. They assumed older people only want practical gifts, failing to see the emotional hunger for connection and legacy. At that age, what is there with them is only memory. Blending appeal, final gift was emotionally rich memories, personalization, and functionally enhanced, readable, accessible, tech-enabled. Innovation lies in shifting between emotional and functional, that blending them to create value that resonates deeply. People don't buy just things. They buy experiences that speak to both their needs and the heart. Value proposition, the crux of the value proposition message is, people don't buy just things. For instance, you don't buy a 3-inch drill bit. You buy a 3-inch hole. It's the outcome that you pay for. It's the experience that you pay for. And if the experience were to speak to both the needs and the hearts, nothing better. So when scrolling online, Aarti sees a startup offering memory books, a premium scrapbook style book where family uploaded old photos, write down memories, letters, voice notes, all these other. It includes space for grandchildren to draw and write messages. The service professionally prints and binds it into a hardbound memory journal. This is available online. You can also go through it and use it for your house. This is how it looks. I have taken it from the advertisement. They decide to combine the emotional gift of memories and affection with a functional feature, a QR code printed inside the book, linking to a video compiled of family greetings, which can be updated anytime. Are you all aware that today there is a service available where, supposing, let us say it is your wife's birthday, you can send that, they got, I don't know what it is called. There is a service where people can create videos. All that you have to do is click on it. The camera on the laptop will go on. You can speak whatever you want to say, wish, tell them why they are valuable. Like that, all the family members can do, and then they will compile the video and send it to you. They also pair it with a comfortable reading lamp and shawl, creating a cozy memory corner in the grandparents' room. Happy 50th anniversary. The whole idea behind it is a thermometer can measure temperature. It's a functional thing. A hug can warm the soul. This is totally emotional. Why not a gift that did both? Think, what is it that we can do that will do both? The functional emotional appeal of Harley Davidson. Number one, at its core, it's a motorcycle that gets you from point A to point B. It's just a functional thing. It provides reliable transport, power, and performance, like any other motorcycle does. Functionally, it is no different in principle from the Honda, Yamaha, or Suzuki. It is the same. So what made it different? The emotional, the aspirational side. Harley didn't just sell a machine, it sold freedom on the open road, rebellion, brotherhood, and identity. Anyone buying a Harley was talking of freedom. He was rebelling against, in his mind, the constraints of the society. He was a member of a brotherhood, and he had a distinct identity away from everyone. I don't know whether you have recently heard of an incident. There was a small boy who was suffering from cancer. Have you heard of this story?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everyone in their class, they had a tonsure. This is one story I remember.
I'm talking about motorcycle, Suresh.
Yes, sir. It was in Germany. One boy was having cancer and he wished to see one motorcycle or something. And the entire
He
team
wished to
went
see, he wished to see a person riding a Harley Davidson.
Davidson. That entire team went for it. Full
There were
motorcycle.
thousands of Harley Davidson which landed up in front of his house, and they drove past him while he was sitting.
Yes, sir.
How was that possible? Because of the feeling of brotherhood, that identity, that the entire Harley Davidson community from Germany came together and they drove past his house. Now, what is this? What is this? Have you understood what this is?
They had an emotional binding community. Connection.
This is storytelling to build the Harley Davidson image and market. This is purely storytelling to build that brand. Neither you nor I know how much of all this was spontaneous, how much was orchestrated.
Yes, sir.
But do you realize what this story does? It imprints the brand of Harley Davidson in the minds of the entire world. They didn't just sell a machine. Second, owning a Harley makes riders feel like part of a community, gives them a sense of individuality and evokes pride. They don't think of themselves as owning a motorcycle. They own a Harley. It is not a motorcycle they own. That is a sense of ownership. And finally, the emotional connect is so strong that customers tattoo the brand logo on their bodies. That is their loyalty beyond function. Tell me one thing, have you seen anyone tattoo a Mercedes-Benz brand logo on his body? Or an Audi brand logo? Or a Tata brand? No. But Harley Davidson people tattoo their body with that brand logo. That is the level of ownership and identification with the brand these people have developed. And not one, two, every place in Europe and the US, they have their Harley Davidson club. And they have fairs, they have exhibitions. How did Harley Davidson compete and capture the market? Harley Davidson succeeded not by and fuel efficiency, functional appeal, but by blending function with deep emotional resonance, creating an uncontested market space where competition struggled to follow. Honda could build a bike as good or better functionally, but it couldn't replicate Harley's emotional engine. And what is the process table for this? Number one, identify the dominant appeal, functional or emotional. How does our industry currently appeal to customers? Number two, understand what drives it. Core value drivers. What are customers really buying into? We very rarely ask this question. What is driving our industry? What are the core values in it? What are customers really buying into? Number three, assess over under delivery. You see, one thing I'll tell you, one thing all of us need to do is, we got many, entrepreneurs and consultants here. How many of you really sit and think on what you really are doing? Do you give time to understand what exactly are the drivers of your market? Like Balakrishnan said, you are into hydraulic. Do you sit and think what are the main drivers of your industry?
No, sir.
Why? You see, business is not something which happens as you are waiting. Business will never happen. Disaster only happens. If you want to build your business, you want to build your career, you have to think about it. I'll ask you a simple question. I'll ask all of you a simple question. What am I basically? A functional person or emotional person?
Functional.
Both.
A mix of both.
Both.
Both, sir.
You are looking at me now and telling both. And what are you telling it from? I'll tell you what you are telling it from. From the structured way my programs are conducted, you are telling that. And from the ease of delivery and the emotion which goes into the delivery, you are saying I am emotional. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Huh? But definitely I was not like this always. So what do you think I predominantly was?
Functional. Later into
Functional.
emotional.
You can't become so strong emotionally. Okay. When we come to that part of the professional thing, I will show you what exactly happened, and so that you will know how to do it. The fourth is explore the opposite, invert assumptions. What happens if we shift the appeal? What will happen? For instance, you see, now Jayesh is into induction heating. Balakrishnan sir is into hydraulics. Yogesh ji is into, what do you call it, certification. Mr. Ramalingam is into consulting. Am I right, Mr. Ramalingam?
Yes, sir.
So most of these are all what functional, isn't it? Have you ever thought how you can convert it into an emotional thing? Just imagine how much more you now when we say functional, what is it you are appealing to?
Brick and
What is it you
mortar.
are appealing to?
More of brick and mortar.
Huh?
To solve
and
other
mortar.
problems, to provide solutions.
What are you
Developing-
appealing to? You are appealing to the mind.
Yes.
You are appealing to the mind. But when you are emotional, what are you appealing to?
To the heart.
To the heart. And when you appeal to the heart, the chances of succeeding are hundreds of times more than when you appeal to the mind. Why? Because the mind is fundamentally an argumentative creature. For every positive, it will throw up a negative. Straight away, it will throw up a negative. That's the first thing it will do, because the function of the subconscious is to keep you alive, and that it does by questioning everything all around it. And the subconscious is 8,000 times more powerful than the conscious, and the conscious is what you are appealing to. So the subconscious will keep shooting it down. But when you appeal to the heart, there is no appeal. It's the Supreme Court. They say, "No, love is blind. It doesn't understand anything. It only understands what it wants." So when you create an emotional appeal, you have a tremendous advantage. Use appeal levers, rational or emotional tools. What tools can we use to change the appeal? Once you know what are the tools that you can use, which we will be showing you today, it will become very easy for you. 4 emotional, 4 functional tools, and more than that you don't require. You can easily switch the whole thing. Reframe offering, create a new value curve. You can surprise your customers with a better blend. So what is the takeaway from this path? What are the hidden insights? The first hidden insight is markets polarize, but people are not one-dimensional. Please understand one thing. People are not one-dimensional. Industries often lock in either functionality, utility, cost, efficiency, or emotional status, identity, belonging, appeals. But real customers are real people, want both. They want functionality as well as emotional appeal. We seek functionality and meaning, reliability and pride. The hidden insight, value lies in balancing opposites, not choosing one side against the other. If you can balance the opposites, you will create a path for yourself, which will be very easy. Number 2, overdrive your delivery creates waste. Under delivery creates boredom. Functional industries often over deliver, and under delivery is on the emotion part. Over deliver extras people don't truly need. You create features which are never used. They are really not useful to you. People don't really need bloated features, inflated price. The hidden insights, innovation comes from cutting away excess while filling the gap. That is what is value innovation, which was a term created by Blue Ocean Strategy, where you create greater value for lesser cost. Value innovation is what the crux of this statement: over delivery creates waste, under delivery creates boredom. Third, appeals are not fixed. Things can be flipped. What is functional today can be made aspirational. What is emotional today can be simplified and democratized. The hidden insight, shifting perspective creates new value, new market where competition doesn't exist. The question is, how do you do that? What we should learn, these are the hidden insights, but what we should learn: never accept dominant logic as final. Just because this industry is functional or this category is aspirational doesn't mean it has to stay that way always. You can change it. We will see how to do that. Breakthrough comes from crossing the boundary, functional to emotional, emotional to functional. When you cross the boundary from functional to emotional or emotional to functional, you get a breakthrough into the market. The power of and. Success is often in blending reliable and inspiring, affordable and aspirational. True innovation and harmony comes when we reject the either or trap. Either functional or emotional trap, leave it and embrace the functional and emotional. How is it useful in life? Let's see how this is very useful. What sort of an insight it gives you about life? If you are purely functional at work, what does it mean? You are efficient, technical, task-oriented. You may be seen as dependable, but uninspiring. And if you can't inspire people to work for you or work, things are not going to work. People don't work for companies, they work for people. So if you're purely functional at work, just efficient, technical, task-oriented, you may be seen as dependable but uninspiring. If you're purely emotional, charismatic, stylish, network-driven, you may be seen as inspiring but lacking depth. Incidentally, when I started my career, I was the second. I was a very, very outgoing person during my college days. I used to speak very well. I could be very humorous. I was the life of the party. But what happened? I could only inspire people. I could only entertain people. That is when, something happened. And one particular aspect of the functionality which I adopted changed the whole course of my career. One. When it comes, I will show you what that is. Career growth often comes when you blend both competence with charisma, reliability plus identity. Families often make choices only on function, low cost, convenience, or they go to the extreme end only on emotion, luxury or appearance. Why not find the middle path? True harmony comes when we learn to balance function and feeling. Simple birthday at home. Functional, made memorable with rituals and storytelling. Emotional. Friendship that are purely functional, helping each other, networking, feel transactional. Friendship that are purely emotional, fun, social media bonding may lack depth. Combine both. Strong relationship emerge when there is both practical support and emotional connection. You must all be wondering how to use it in your professional life, in your business or your consulting. Am I right? Don't you want clear-cut, actionable strategies that you can use? Now, I'll ask you a simple question. As I told you, I was one of those people who was very charismatic, who could talk a lot, who could talk very well, who could talk fluently in 7-8 languages. having studied in BHU, being a hosteler throughout my life, was extremely gregarious, outgoing. I had a lot of leadership and characteristics in me, and so that made me the light of the party always, the life of the party always. When I got into a career, initially it was tremendously helpful, because what happens? Such a person immediately falls in the eyes of the management, right? But then very soon they also realize that this guy does not have depth. He has spent his life joking, enjoying himself, masti, Casanova, cool. Want to spend time? Go to Arun. Want work? Forget him. Will this build my career? I soon realized it was going to become a very big danger. So what do you think I did? Tell me one functional thing which I could have done, which made me very strong in functional aspects, in concepts, theories, and everything that I did. One thing only I did. Because I realized I did not know anything. Yeah.
Reading books.
Yeah, I am a good reader. I'm a voracious reader, but that's not enough.
Systems and process.
Understanding the product requirement, product knowledge, process knowledge.
How much will you learn? And what all will you learn? Do you realize? The CEO is responsible for every goddamn thing, from the dirty toilet in the office to regulations, international regulations, and everything. Everything he has to know. Is it possible? Can you sit and learn all these things? But there is one single functional thing which can cut through everything. This is what is the importance of developing insight.
You got engaged with seniors. Like
Now, why the hell should they teach me? They have come to do their employment to survive themselves. Why will they spend time on me? No one does that.
And reviewing with the team, that time also you get knowledge, no? You review with review mechanism. Then you are reviewing with the concerned people.
We'll come to that. Think about it. That one functional aspect is there. You can use it. Each one of you can use it very, very powerfully. Very powerfully, I'm telling you. Within no time, you will become a master in whatever you are doing. And you don't have, I'll tell me one thing. One of the biggest advantages of this is, you know what? Now tell me one thing, a youngster who is fun-loving, very gregarious, outgoing, extrovert, party-loving, keeps roaming, generally chilling and enjoying life. What is his ability to retain and remember things? Very poor. He will not be concerned. He doesn't want to. I was one of those people who was not interested in breaking my head in remembering things. What made me remember so many things? There must have been something which I did repeatedly, which I was forced to do without strain, which made me remember everything. That one thing even you people can adopt after today. So how it's useful in professional life? Let's see. Number one, breaks the one-dimensional trap. Many professionals lean too much towards either being functional, efficient, technical, reliable, but boring and invisible, which unfortunately most people are. They are so, the more efficient you become, the more capable you become, the more boring you become. People will come to you when they want work from you, but otherwise they will avoid you. And the emotional, charismatic, inspiring, stylish, but seen as superficial and lacking depth. People will come to you when they want to spend time, but will never come to you if they have a work to be done. This is what is the mix of people in every office. The doers and the party goers. two makes you more valuable to employers, clients. Companies and clients crave competence they trust, functional, and people who connect, inspire, and represent them well, emotional. If you want to be successful with your clients and your employers, you need to be both competent as well as inspiring. Without being both, you are not going to get a place in that list. Number 3, expands career growth opportunities. Promotion and leadership roles are rarely given to technical ability. Because you are not the doer, you are the thinker. The higher you go, the less you do. Can you give me a good example of it? The human body is the best example. Why do I say the human body is the best example?
Sir, functionality wise, if you look into it, the liver, the kidney, and other things are invaluable, but usually people look at heart and the brain.
I think you have not heard of that saying, you don't have to be the dash to be the brains. You can be the, you don't have to be the brains to be the boss. You can be the what, Suresh? Okay, let me tell you, look at the human body. Suresh, stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up. Yeah, have you stood up? You are muted.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have stood up, sir.
Okay, okay. Which part is the doer? Which part is the thinker?
Sorry, sir. Once again, repeat it.
Which part is the doer? Which part is the thinker?
Sir, the doer is the arms, the legs, and
the periphery, the
things,
legs.
whereas the thinker is the brain,
So,
which is there, and the emotional
similarly,
part, the heart
in your
is there.
career also, you start as a doer at the lowermost rung and then keep climbing. As you climb up, the amount of doing reduces, the amount of thinking increases. This people need to understand. Many people, they reach a level because they are very good at doing, but they forget totally that at some stage they have to delegate, leave that doing part of it to others and start thinking. Many entrepreneurs also still believe in doing. Balakrishnan sir, does something resonate with you? Morning till evening, you are busy doing in the shop floor. Who is going to do the thinking? The competitor. So he gets ahead. Promotion and leadership roles are rarely given to technical ability. That means the doing ability. They go to people who deliver results and carry presence, influence, and vision. Because delegating, inspiring people, motivating people, getting them engaged is all an emotional role. Build stronger workplace relationship. Functional only, you get respect, but no warmth. No one will be close to you if you are functional. Emotional only, you get popularity, but no credibility, no dependability. You can earn trust and loyalty, which strengthens collaboration and accelerates your career. And finally, it helps in personal branding. Your professional brand is your career value. If you brand yourself as a doer, functional, you will get repetitive tasks. Who are the people who do repetitive tasks? Who are the people who do repetitive tasks?
Workers, general workers.
Yes, at the lowest level. So if you are going to depend more on technical ability, you will be at that level only. You will not rise up. Your professional brand is you are a worker, a workhorse. Workhorse is a good term for a laborer. But that does not mean you should not know your job. If you brand yourself as an inspiring emotional, you will be seen as all talk. So you have to combine both. You have to combine technical knowledge with inspiring relationship. So how do you go about creating this? There are 4 steps. Watch these 4 steps carefully. Please go back and see the video. Sit down calmly for about 15, 20 minutes, half an hour. Do this exercise and I'm telling you, your life will change. 101% I can give you a guarantee your life will change. Set your intent, start with diagnosing your current tilt. What is your current tilt? Functional, on-time delivery, accuracy, clarity, problem solving, process, follow through. Is this what you are good at? Just a minute. Set your intent. Diagnose your current tilt. Are you functional? Basically, are your strengths on-time delivery, accuracy, clarity, problem-solving, process, and follow-through? Are you good at process management? Do you demand accuracy? Do you demand clarity? Are you good at solving problems? Are you good at following up? If you are good at all these things, you are a functional person. That means what? People will come to you when there is something to be done, but otherwise they will avoid you. And such people, more often than not, are destined to get blocked at the middle management level. They reach very fast up to middle management, and then they have a big complaint that they are caught in office politics and they will find less competent people crossing them and going higher. Now let's see the second type of person. Emotional person. Are you a good storyteller? Are you empathetic? Do you have presence? Do you have design and polish? Are you good at building communities? Are you good at being recognized? If all these things are there, then that means you are basically an emotional person. Such people are, valued, but not taken very seriously, and people don't go to them in moments of crunch. What you need to do is you need to combine both. And how do you do that? You identify what exactly you are and try to identify that one thing which if you add to your current personality, your character and trait, you can multiply your effectiveness by at least 100%. Where do I create the most value? What's that one thing, functional or emotional, would make me twice as effective? If you are a functional person who is very good at process management, who is very accurate, who delivers on time, maybe the one thing you could benefit from is telling the story of your success every time. Creating a story of how you have been able to do it so that it sticks to the mind of people. And when the time comes, they will remember you. If there are 100 people in the line for promotion, who do you think will get promoted? Very practically tell me, who do you think will get promoted? There are 100 companies competing for a contract of a client. Who do you think will get that contract?
Best
You must be
brand.
wondering how, without giving any details of these 100 companies, this man is asking this question. Who do you think will get the contract? Who do you think will get promoted?
Best brand.
PR,
The good
PR,
storyteller,
personal
sir.
relationship.
The person who comes to the mind first, who is remembered. Out of 100, if you are not remembered, how will they even look at you? The moment you are remembered, what happens? Primacy. Immediately, what will happen? The customer will start looking at all the reasons why you are the right person. His logic is, I remembered him. There must be something good about him, otherwise why did I remember him? Now, Asha, tell me, supposing I were to ask Nitya, tell me what all the good things about Modi. What have I done?
You're looking at
What
the
did you do?
positives.
Huh?
You're looking for the positives already.
No, I am shooting you. I am sending you down a chute which looks only at the positives.
Positives.
That's precisely what happens. So storytelling is a very powerful technique. How can you don't have to go and tell, come guys, I will tell you how I succeeded. No, that's not how it is done. You know, I faced hell with this problem. And I really don't want you guys to face it. And then you tell how you solve the problem. The hell is left. Everyone is happy to hear you suffer, so they came to listen. And what they got was a big lecture on process management and your efficiency. They go back thinking, this guy is bloody damn good, huh? See, he solved it. You have achieved it. But many times what happens? Hanumantrao might be very good at his work. Possibly he is. Not might be, he is. He does it, waits quietly for everyone else to find it and then praise him. No one has the time, no one has the inclination, no one has the willingness to do either of these. By the time the second problem has come, and Hanumantrao is on that.
That's
Recognize
100%
yourself,
true.
Hanumantrao. So you see, how do you do that? So you see, you have to combine both these. So just think, what is that one thing, functional or emotional, you can add which will make it effective. In my case, I was a tremendously emotional guy. I was very good at storytelling. I could read people very well. I had a towering presence. I had polish, song, grace. I was very good at building community, and I could get recognition because of the way I used to deal with people. But there was one thing missing, and I introduced that. And that changed the whole thing. Spot boredom and overkill. Eliminate. First thing you do in your office, under you. With this we have seen. This is an exercise which you do on yourself. Identify whether you are functional or emotional, and then identify the one thing which you can add. If you are functional, the one emotional thing that you can add, which will make you twice as effective. Twice as effective means what? I am not talking about effective in getting results in your job in building yourself. And then in the office, what you will do? Spot boredom and overkill. Number one. Eliminate reports no one reads, meeting with no decisions. You know, you do a meeting and then create a 40-page report and send it, which no one reads. Or you create an Excel sheet with 50 metrics, no one reads it. condense that report into 2 or 3 actionable insights, which is more than enough, which you can work on. Or reduce all those 50, 60 metrics in the dashboard to 2 or 3, which will give you the results. Reduce detail that doesn't change outcomes. What are the details which you are following in your office, with your team, with your department, which has no any outcome? Look at it. Raise visual clarity, stakeholder context, customer voice, introduce it into your life. Share real customer stories when you are driving the learning. In internal meetings, talk about what the stakeholder wants, what is his context, what does the customer say. What will happen? You're meeting from a functional, emotional thing. Perspectives will start appearing. Perspectives which have meaning. Then finally, create rituals, narratives, communities. Here, for instance, you have meetings. Now, I will ask you a simple question. So in Pahalgam, people were killed. The terrorists came and killed them. India took revenge by hitting the 9
terrorist camps.
Right? Which do you remember? Operation Sindoor or India hitting the terrorist camps?
Operation Sindoor.
Why? Why could they not have gone and hit those terrorist camps without giving a name to it?
Sir, always a name is easily remembered. Whenever you give a name, you are
That's
assigning
precisely what is being
significant.
told here. That is precisely what is being told here. Create rituals, narratives, communities, name for initiatives. Instead of calling, a process improvement meeting. You have meetings now. You have meetings or not?
Yes.
Sir, we have meetings.
What do you call those meetings? Discussion. Correct? Review meetings. Right? And everybody develops constipation. No one wants to attend. Then again, the fault finding is, what if you were to call a process improvement meeting as Operation Phoenix to revive everything? Try. It might look childish initially. But then do you realize every goddamn country, every big thing has things like this going on? Why? Why you have Operation Mahakal? Was it Mahakal, no? Where they killed the terrorists? Why did they call it Operation Mahakal? Why didn't they just say, kill those guys? They would have done that. But they gave a name, Operation Mahakal. Then they say Operation Sindoor, and then they distribute Sindoors. They create meaning to narratives, symbols. So try it. Maybe tomorrow, the first meeting that you are going to do after today, you can start creating rituals. I always tell. Huh?
Operation Mahadev.
Okay. I gave the other name of Mahadev, Mahakal. Maybe because you have near Ujjain.
So we can call it as Mission 1 crore meeting.
Yes. You can call it. No, don't call it Mission 1 crore.
Have a name
Then
for
you are
it.
putting a figure on it. Call it Vision Mahalakshmi. Or you can say, Operation Kuber. Because when the company performs, the people become prosperous.
Kuber.
You can have operation, anything you want, you can have. You want to reset the tone of the organization. You can call it the Rolling Stones. Or you can even say Kishore Kumar reinvented. They will wonder, what is this Kishore Kumar reinvented? Everyone will come, boss kya bol rahe hain? What is boss trying to tell? At least that much of interest will come. And then, you build a story around it. What will happen is, people remember stories. We are all great storytellers. How many of you remember coming home late after playing in the evening when you are young? Have you ever been late in the evening after playing, going home?
Yes,
You all
yes,
look
yes,
very
several
good
times.
boys, so I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Storytelling.
So what is
Yes.
the first thing my mother used to do on opening the door is, "Inniki enna katha solla pora hai?" The first thing she used to ask me is, "What story are you going to tell today?" Because I always used to have a story ready as to why I am late. Never will I go home in time, because there was a standard instruction, that, in Tamil Brahmin families, I will stay in Calcutta, we had this thing, road a light area, before the street lamps are lit, you have to be home. And I always used to come home by the time it is ready for the street lamps to be shut out. That is the next morning. So the moment my mother opens the door, the first thing she tells me, "Today, what story are you going to tell?" You see, our entire life is a storytelling. So we love stories. That is how our brain developed. And from the time when fire was discovered, the tribe used to sit all around the fire. And how did they exchange what happened during the day and what they are going to do the next day? They exchanged it by means of telling stories. So storytelling goes right back to the earliest moments of civilization. It's very closely linked with the discovery of fire and the evolution of the human brain. Do you think something so fundamental will go leave us? So start these 4 things in your office. Do away with reports that no one reads. Reduce details that don't change outcomes. What will happen is you will have a lot of time. In government office, there is a joke we used to say. The instruction was that all unnecessary paper should be shredded every week. Have you ever heard of this? All unnecessary papers should be shredded every week. And there was a corollary to it. Do you know what that corollary is?
No paper is unnecessary, so it is
No.
all put in files.
No. That is a corollary, very valid corollary. Make copies in duplicate and shred
Get the copy and then
make a copy in duplicate
then do it.
and then shred. उसी तरह से reduce every goddamn unnecessary things. When you reduce all the unnecessary things, the number of necessary things in front of you will reduce. And when the number of things in front of you will reduce, you will be able to give greater focus and attention to it. The third is raise the visual clarity. People should be able to see. If they can't see. See, I'll ask you a simple question. Imagine a flower. Okay. Imagine a red rose. Which picture was more clear in your mind?
Red rose.
When I
Sir.
said
Red rose.
because immediate, the way you say it, the moment you say it, the picture should appear in the mind. Then it will stay. Flower. So what happened? I will tell you what happened in your mind. Which flower should I now imagine? jasmine, lotus, rose, samandi. Now you see the mind, as usual, argumentative bloody creature. You say jasmine, no, I will think of this. I'll think. You will never get around to imagining a flower. But when I say red rose, all options gone. Immediately the red rose flashes. That is why I am saying, learn to create visual clarity. How do you create visual clarity? By painting a picture of what you want. Our objective today is to visualize how the company will look, how this department will look when we have 1,000 crore turnover. Think of another company which is achieving 1,000 crores. Have you ever been to that office? How did it look? How will this look? Or talk about a customer company. You know, the customer came and he was calling me all sorts of names. He dragged my mother, sister, father, grandfather, everyone. All because, you know, we had forgotten to put that user manual in his product. Instead of telling who forgot, you asking who forgot to put the user manual, everyone will keep quiet. When you tell this, immediately the realization starts that XYZ had to go through all these things because of the absence of a user manual. People start remembering. Create visual clarity. And then whenever you are meeting, whatever you are going to do, have a name, a symbol, a ritual. Because you see, right from the beginning, that is how we have grown up. What is the first thing a baby understood? Is birthday. All the halla gulla around it. It doesn't know what a birthday is. It doesn't know what day is. It doesn't know what birth is. All that it knows is 20 other children and 25 elders came and they were doing hangama, a ritual. The first thing it is exposed to outside world is what? Punyavasanam. The priest comes and naming ceremony. All these things are right. From the earliest moment of our life, we are introduced to symbols and rituals. So you see, we need to draw on those universal principles to drive our career in the office. When you do this, you will be combining functionality with emotion. Spot boredom and overkill. Reduce waste, time, energy, attention, drain, all those reduce. Raise clarity, impact, create emotional connection and engagement. This is how teams move from busy to productive to inspired. Don't be busy, be productive. The best way of not being busy is to eliminate all those things which are not required. Reduce all that and only retain that which will create change. Raise the visual clarity of your message. Do it with rituals. People will say, yeah, ये लड़की तो ड्रामाबाज है, लेकिन काम होता है. That's better, na? Being called a dramabaj has got its advantage. They will remember you throughout their life. And when the results come, the management will remember you. Your career is done. Now choose your blue zone. Pick 2 functional aspects to keep and 2 emotional aspects to keep. If you are a functional person, think of 2 emotional aspects to keep. I'm going to give you 4 of each. And if you are a functional person, look for 2 emotional aspects that you can add to it. Functional to emotional upgrade. Keep on time, accuracy, add storytelling, recognition. These are all very, very powerful things. If you are a person who is always on time and you're always accurate, add storytelling. Create recognition. That means highlight the importance of keeping on time and accuracy. Don't tell people to be on time. Talk to them how they will be recognized if they are on time. What is this emotional to functional upgrade? If you have very good presence and empathy, possibly you could add, SLA, service level agreements. Service level agreement is a formal contract, I know, but you can have sort of an agreement, service level agreement with your subordinates, your peers and superiors as to what it is that you will provide and what it is that they will provide. Having this understanding, defines the expectations and responsibilities. So if you are a person who has got very strong presence and you're very empathetic, you could possibly add understanding processes and service level agreements to your armamentarium. I'll give you all the 4 now. Then write a new value proposition, 1 line. I deliver results. How do you deliver results? Through the functional. And make it stick through the emotional. Delivering result alone is not enough. That has to be retained by the people who are around you, by your bosses, by the management, by the clients, by the customers, so that you will be remembered. If you do all the heavy lifting and then you are forgotten, what is the use? Now comes to the design your micro behaviors. Let's see 4 things. Now, the point which I introduced into my life is there in this list. Can any one of you identify it? A 1-pager top sheet or on every deliverable goal decision needed. This you can introduce in your office. For all decisions needed for all goals, 1 top sheet should be given along with their recommendation. There was this saying, that during the Second World War, I think it was Theodore Roosevelt who was there at that time. His NSA went to him with recommendations. Roosevelt used to smoke, so you took the matchbox, there used to be match strips at that time. He gave it to him and said, in the back of that strip, please write your reason why you want this decision to be taken. He says, sir, in this much, if you can't write in this much, it's of no use. 1 sentence. That clear you should be, why you want something to be done. Get your people, whenever they are coming to you, with 1 sentence or 1 page as to why a particular goal is required to be achieved or why a particular decision is to be taken. Are you getting my point?
Yes. Valid point.
Try to implement it with your team. Huh?
Got it.
Try to implement it with your team. You will find tremendous help. Tremendously it will change. Because what will happen? If your subordinate has to come to you with a particular goal, objective, and he has to be able to tell you in 1 sentence or 1 page why that is to be achieved, will he not think? Will you not think of all the things which will be required to be explained, to condense it and then bring it? If he wants a particular decision to be taken, people normally come with what? They come with problems, right? And you have to give the decision. But whose problem is it? Your problem or his problem that he's talking about?
His
Tell me,
problem.
whose problem is he talking about?
It's
About
his
the problem
problem.
which he is facing.
Yeah.
Yes, he is-
What does the statement, I have a problem, presuppose? This statement, I have a problem, presupposes something. What is it?
Define
It
the
is
problem.
very difficult to
Huh?
solve.
No, that means the decision which is what has happened is not to his liking. That's what it means. The outcome is not to his liking. That's why he's calling it a problem now. So he already knows what the outcome he wants.
Expectation and requirement. Gap is there.
Yes, he is already aware of it. So don't you think he should give you the solution for it?
Right.
So change, flip in the office from problem to solution to come with one page or one sentence defining the goal or defining the decision. That is the first thing which you can try and implement. Second thing, SLA for responses. Service level agreements. What is the agreement? In 2 hours, this has to be acknowledged and the decision has to be given in 24 hours. Something like this. Whatever it is, put a boundary to it. Put a boundary to the service that you are expecting from your subordinate, or the support you are expecting from your superior, or the assistance you are expecting from your peers. Now comes the most powerful of them all, checklist. This is what I adopted because I realized that I did not know anything what to look for in any document which was brought to me. I made it mandatory that I should not receive any document, any request without a checklist. The checklist will tell you what are the things you have to go through in that document to take a final decision. Outcome. You don't have to use your brain. The checklist is going to tell you. If that material is not in the checklist, something goes wrong. The person who has prepared the checklist, his neck is on the noose, not mine. And as time passed, slowly I started mastering each and every process because the checklist is nothing but a do-it-yourself, step-by-step process, nothing else. Is the attendance sheet there for the payroll to be finalized? Yes. Is the number of leaves taken accounted for? Yes. Is the number of leave to the credit taken for? Yes. Is the increments accounted for? Yes. Is loss of, that means everything which has to be there will be there in the checklist. And once you keep doing it, what will happen? Over a period of time, it will become verbatim in your mind. And the process becomes absolutely crystal clear. You appear to be an extraordinarily good functional person when what is your functionality dependent on that checklist. There was a time when my designation of CEO was renamed by my team members as subordinate checklist manager. Because I used to refuse anything which comes to me without the checklist. Because I am an ordinary graduate. And I had Ivy League postgraduates and management students working under me. Now, just imagine, those guys are damn smart, I say. They can pull you and strip you naked before you can even spell your name. And if you have to survive in that bloody jungle, corporate jungle, you have to be very careful. And that was one thing I was good at. So you can introduce this checklist system in your office, which will add tremendous amount of functionality to your work. Not only will it add functionality, it will hold people responsible. Because supposing, just imagine one of your subordinates coming and giving you a paper. Says, I want your signature on it. And you say, okay, bring it back to me with the checklist. What are the things I need to check in it before I sign? Your job is done, na? Now whose job it is? His job begins. Now he can't miss anything. Over a period of time, what will happen? People will become extraordinarily careful. They know, अरे यार सुरेश साहब के पास जाके फायदा नहीं है. वो तो immediately checklist मांगेंगे. और इसमें ये missing है. मैं checklist बनाऊंगा, मेरी नौकरी तो गई. First class. Now you see, you are out of the woods. And when the checklist comes, 2-3 times you go through the checklist, 2-3 times such things happen. 4th time, you will start asking, why this matter you are not asking me to check? Is it not necessary here? Why it is not necessary? Because you remember, the earlier 3 documents which came like this contained that information. Now, how do you look? You look as an expert. He says, yaar, ye aadmi to galti turant pakad leta hai. What he doesn't know is he only taught me. So you see, it's very easy to introduce functionality into your career. It's not difficult at all. You don't have to go and read reams and reams of books and research papers. Simple strategies. And this is what Blue Ocean Strategy does. It teaches you how to create situations which will make you come out smelling roses. And for emotional, use CCC, challenge, choice, consequence. Context, challenge, choice, consequence. What is the context? What are the challenge? What choices were made? What are the consequences? So how do you do that? Just listen to these 4-sentence stories and tell me what you learned from it. It was my HOD's retirement date. The department had decided that they will make a PowerPoint presentation to highlight his achievement. And I, being the research scholar, was asked to, create the timeline of his achievements. It was decided that the presentation will be on 20th in front of the entire department and the new HOD. In the subsequent meeting, which I did not attend, the program was preponed to 15th. On 13th, I realized that I was not aware of it and the program was on 15th. I was in deep trouble because I had no material with me. I immediately rushed, met a couple of his colleagues who had worked with him, created a timeline where earlier I had thought of talking to him. Now I talked to his colleagues, created it, and we did a presentation. And he was full of tears because the presentation was from the angle of his colleagues talking about him. I came out smelling roses that I had created such a beautiful presentation, such an emotional presentation, but I had learned a big lesson. I should never take things for granted. Times and events change, and I should never postpone things to a last moment. How does it show? This is a classic example of context. Challenge. Are you understanding? And what choice I made, and what are the consequences of it. You can create such small stories to drive home your strength. What I did here was, I brought myself out as a very vulnerable human being who is prone to making mistakes, but an intelligent human being who will learn from it and benefit from it. Every employer is looking for this only. He is not looking for a know-all, never will make mistake employee. He is looking for someone who is willing to make mistakes, learn from it and improve on it. So you see, this CCCC storytelling method, practice it. Identify 4 or 5 points about yourself which you want to highlight. Supposing, let's say, you are a stickler for punctuality. You can create a context, challenge, consequence, and the result, the choice and the consequence. You can create and keep it ready. Just know it. You don't have to mug it by heart. Depending upon the situation, just let it out. It will take hardly about a minute or two. And it will go and stick. And it will create an image about you as being a very powerful emotional person. Your functionality will get combined with emotionality and you will come out on top. The second thing is you can name initiatives, Project Lighthouse, to aid recall. Instead of talking about a review meeting, you can have a lighthouse movement. You can call it a lighthouse movement. Add a 30-second customer impact anecdote to your weekly updates. I always ask members of this group with whom I have discussions to have weekly meetings. They are all sick of me because the first thing I do when meeting them on the one-on-one is, did you have your last weekly meeting? They are absolutely sick of me. I know. Look at Balakrishnan sir or look at Jay ji, they will tell you. Or Yogesh ji, he doesn't curse me openly, but that's precisely what he feels within. Because this weekly meeting is something, use these weekly meetings to drive with customer updates. Recognition rituals. Give a shout out to one collaborator per meeting. Call out one person. Tell what he has done. That way, there is a team building effort going on. So you see, you have this new value proposition. From these 4 functional, asking them to come with a one-liner or a one-pager on top of their goal and decision needed document, an SLA for responses, a checklist for everything that they are going to be bringing to you or you have to do. And you can have a simple dashboard with 3 main KPIs, key performance indices, everywhere in all over the office. You can have this KPIs, individuals KPIs, so that it will keep reminding them that they have to do that. You can design these micro behaviors within the office and drive performance. You can have a CCC story frame. You can name initiatives. You can have a 30-minute customer impact anecdote every week during your weekly meetings. And you can have a recognition ritual where you recognize one individual per meeting, call him out and tell what he has done. This will bring about cohesion among the team, and it will also help, performance. Write a new value proposition, one-line value proposition. I deliver results with 2 functional strengths and make it stick to 2 emotional strengths based upon these micro behaviors. Thank you, friends. I hope you found today's program useful.
Sir.
Next, the next class is going to be on across time. One of the most important theories and concepts for handling uncertainty. Anyone of you tell me which one it is?
Time.
Design thinking. Design thinking is the concept, tool, or theory which is used to handle uncertainty and complex problems. Taken from design thinking is our next path, the 6th path, looking into time. That means identifying uncontested market space by looking into trends and what will happen in the future. That again is a very, very powerful method. Go through all the 6 methods. You will find that there is tremendous amount of things to learn from it, and you can use it in your personal and professional life. Any help is required, you can always contact me.
I want to remind day after tomorrow, the session, no clarity, no commitment.
Not day after tomorrow, it is on 29th now.
27th, sir.
9th, sir.
29th, sir.
And you have not got back to me. I have sent you the deck 1 week back. I don't know where it stands, what happened.
I will talk to you tomorrow, sir. Actually, I was in Chennai for 3 days. I have gone through it today.
Have you gone through it? Have you understood it?
Yes, I have gone through it. I have taken every aspect of it. I will talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Namaskar, namaskar, namaskar.